stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas. To those guests who've just joined us, welcome. Our next stop is the Magic Kingdom. For those of you standing, please hold on to the handrails throughout our journey and stay clear of the doors. Stay clear of the doors. Ladies and gentlemen, we are approaching our station at the entrance to Main Street, USA.
Welcome aboard the Monday Morning Monorail podcast, episode 156. Nailed it. I am still driving the monorail. This is still part of the Poochie era. It's me. It's the Dawes. It's Landon Doan. But guys, I'm going to cut with you. I am exhausted. So instead of having some long, drawn-out, overproduced, big ol' hullabaloo of an intro, I'm going to welcome my friend and yours. He is Papa Monorail. It's Justin Monorail. Jay, please take the reins because I'm about to pass.
Good morning, Monorail family, and good morning, Landon the Dawes Doan. Wake up, buddy. Wake up. Come to.
Sorry.
We got to get the smelling salts. Yeah. Get the coffee in front of you. Yeah. What a week it was. I can't believe it's already over and you're already back in Knoxville, Tennessee, but holy cow, you made the most of it, obviously, and your body is not happy with you about that.
Nope. The more things change, the more they stay the same. Me leaving Disney, my body is like, young man, you made some poor decisions. Also, you're not so young and you feel it. My everything hurts, so that's good. Having a bad back, that was definitely flared up. And speaking of flared up, my feet kind of exploded and they were held together by Band-Aids. So without getting too graphic, still moving a little bit gingerly. So, that's fun.
Yeah. I think one of the takeaways here is people need to remember you have been quarantining, you've been isolating in place, you've been staying at home for nearly a year and a half.
You should have been.
At this point. And more than likely, your stamina has taken a little bit of a hit. All of us had all these big plans to get like quarantine ripped. And some of us did, like Sam. The rest of us managed to just gain that COVID-19 right around the waist. And you don't think that maybe it's going to make a big difference, but come down to Florida now, where it's 90 degrees all next week. Heat index in the hundreds, probably. Sometimes still wearing a mask, although now you don't have to wear one outside. It's optional. It's up to you. But, going rope drop to close, commando touring, attraction to attraction, it is going to take a toll on your body that you may not be prepared for. And this is something I'm glad we're talking about it, because I think these people who are real excited to get back down here, and they're like, I haven't been able to do anything since...
So I have to do everything.
Yeah, since January or February of 2020. I'm going to do everything. I'm going to spend every moment on my feet running from place to place. Yeah, you might pay a terrible penalty.
Slow your roll, because my app said I walked about 30 miles in 5 days. And
that's a lot.
And I don't think I walked 30 miles all of last year. So, my body definitely caught up to it. Maybe do some cardio leading up to your Disney expedition. Yeah. I never thought I would be advocating for people to work out ahead of their vacation, but as somebody who probably should have, let me tell you, maybe work out before your vacation.
It doesn't hurt anything. You might as well.
Well, it might hurt something. You might pull a hammy. Like I actually broke my butt. It now has a crack in it. So, me with the jokes, and I'm back. But yeah, wonderful. Had a blast. Definitely pushed myself. Which, I mean, if you've listened to these podcasts, that's pretty much par for the course. I push myself, and then I explode or something like that. So, like I said, the more things change, the more they stay the same.
It's true, but. Man, it was a great time. I didn't get to spend as much time as I had hoped in the parks with you and Frank, but I was grateful for Tuesday at the Animal Kingdom. I was grateful for Wednesday in the Magic Kingdom with additional guest Theme Park Rob and Skipper Bob and Skipper Alicia.
Yeah, that was the first time I was able to meet those three. Those are some really cool people.
Absolutely.
Like I've said it before, like Jay, you've cultivated a good fam, as you like to call them on the Facebook. Mm-hmm. Those three, killer people, top notch. Cannot wait to hang out with them again in the future.
High quality.
Go listen to the
character.
Cretans Guild. So
yeah. High quality character individuals.
Frank, he's
yeah, he's grandfathered in. Get it because he's old.
He's old. We got the jokes.
Yeah, but it's always good to meet up with Monorail fam in the parks, and I can't wait.
By
to
the
do
way,
it again.
speaking of, you're a liar who lied to me. I wore my Monorail fam shirt, and you definitely saw it because you were there. You did not buy me crap.
I would like to review the tape because I think on Tuesday, I think that I purchased a couple of items for you. It maybe not Dole Whip, but we did go to Nomad Lounge and we did go to Ratatouille, and there was a lot of food. I think you did okay. I'm just saying.
Okay, fine.
Now, the truth is, I didn't get to buy Frank a Dole Whip, and he did wear his Monorail fam shirt at Animal Kingdom. We're still
there was a costume change and everything.
Yeah, there was a costume change. Those pictures are still MIA. I contacted PhotoPass Help Desk. I haven't heard anything yet, but I guess if there's no proof in photography format, then why would I buy him a Dole Whip? I think is what I'm really getting at.
You got me there, podcast lawyer.
But it's true. I made the unfortunate statement in the past. If I catch you in the parks wearing a morning Monorail shirt or a Monorail fam shirt, I'll buy you a Dole Whip or maybe some other tasty snack the next time I see you. And so I'm going to make good on those claims. And Frank, you're going to get that Dole Whip. I wanted to do it in Animal Kingdom, and we didn't do it because the line was too long. We were going to get that adult Dole Whip, and I was going to force Frank to eat Dole Whip in the Animal Kingdom and say he liked it. But, we'll do it again. But we got a lot of things to talk about in terms of your trip. But before we get into all that, let us talk a little bit about some Disney news. And I know, Landon, you mentioned a couple of headlines. What do you want to start with?
Let's start with the what can only be clearly interpreted as an attack on us, the monorail. A truck tried to kill a monorail outside of Epcot. Now, I maybe have sensationalized this headline, and we'll have Tucker Carlson be like, why did a truck try and attack a monorail? I'm just asking the question. So, Jay, why don't you actually tell us what happened?
Yeah, so luckily the monorail was only down for a short while after this brutal attack. It actually occurred on Friday, May 21st. Some sort of a construction truck crashed into the monorail beam just outside of the Contemporary Resort. It was a Badger soil excavation truck, as I'm reading now.
Why does this Badger excavation soil truck hate this monorail?
Yeah, it's a great question. And one that I feel like deserves to be asked. Mm-hmm. But it had, according to this article, it had its vacuuming equipment extended and hit the underside of the monorail beam. Minor damage was the result, and it closed the monorail for about 4 hours. Now, I feel like I want to look at it this way. Maybe the Badger excavation truck is actually on our side. Because, listen, we love the monorails. I love the fact that they're getting refurbed, but there is no doubt that we need a complete overhaul of the fleet. We need, what are they now? I think they're the Mark 6, Mark 7. I don't know. Don't quote me on any of that. I should know, and I don't know. But what I will say is we need Mark 9 or Mark 10 monorails. It's time. It's the 50th anniversary coming up in October. Why not roll out a whole new fleet of monorails? And I'm ready for it. Make them hover monorails. Ooh, if they're hovering, are they really monorails? That's the question we're all going to ask ourselves. But no, luckily it was minor damage. Monorails are back running again. It's funny because when we did the Fastpass standby snack break for the transportation systems, one of the things that Marissa said was it seems like the monorails are always down when she's there, which I found odd. I mean, I know that they have issues, and I'm not saying that they run 100% all the time, but we go pretty frequently, and I have I have only maybe been to the Magic Kingdom since we've been living down here the last 2 years. I maybe have only been to Magic Kingdom and Epcot once or twice where the monorails just were out of service for the day. I don't see that as frequent of an issue. It's definitely not like Rise of the Resistance level problems. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And we'll get to more of that in a minute. But I think of them as being relatively reliable. I know they're old and they do have their issues, and sometimes they leak monorail juice while you're, just quietly sitting in your cabin, and suddenly it's, you're getting a strange drip on your leg or something. But
they're old. They have their issues. They leak stuff. So it's just like Frank.
Yeah.
Got him again.
Got him again. So, but yeah, no big deal. I think it was more of out of like an abundance of caution that they put the monorail out of service for a few hours just to check the beam. All is good and it's running. But yeah, come on, Disney. Let's upgrade those monorails. Let's do it.
That'd be awesome. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you clearly have the opportunity to. And like Jay pointed out, the 50th is coming up. So what better time than now?
I'm sure you can pull that off in 5 months.
If anybody can, it will be Disney. I don't know if they can, but if they can, it's Disney. So.
Well, let's look at how quickly the construction of Space 220 has gone. I mean, or even Ratatouille, even though it's done and could open right now, and they're just holding it from us because Disney is a withholding jerk.
Ooh, shots fired.
It's true.
Though on the flip side, when I was going on the People Mover, which that was inexplicably down for over a year, they're really moving along on Tronstruction.
Yes, yeah, they are. That was good to see.
Yes,
I think we were talking about this in the Monorail Fam group on Facebook. Somebody posted like projected completion times, and they said something like sometime in 2023 for Tron. I can't believe that. No way.
Yeah, no. Like, is late this year a possibility? Sure. Unlikely, but definitely a possibility. I see somewhere in 2022 definitely being when Tron is open.
Yeah, it would make sense to do it maybe in the slow period of like the winter, like early 2022, maybe like February, March, build up the anticipation for people to come in for spring break or something.
Mm-hmm. And plus, it would draw people into the park before that spring break surge hits, kind of like you said, during the traditionally slow period.
Yeah. And that's, by the way, that's why Ratatouille isn't opening. They know that, we can hold it back because people are coming right now. They're going to come anyway. We'll push this back and open it later to keep the crowds higher up later in the year. So.
See, I thought they were holding it for the 50th anniversary because doesn't it open like on October 1st?
Yes, but also the secret is Disney knows it's going to boost attendance at Epcot with Ratatouille, and they've already pretty much like tanked this year in terms of their budget and attendance and all that kind of stuff, and it will look much better to just push those numbers into the next fiscal year, which happens to start in October.
Tricky mouse.
Yeah, so there you go. We've talked before about, I think we talked about it on M340. It seems like a lot of things close in October or open in October, and this is why. Because that's
I never put together the whole fiscal year starts in that area, rather. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep. That's why. So,
and plus, I mean, if it opens on October 1st and everybody wants to be in MK on the 1st, that is a pretty good way to siphon some people out of Magic Kingdom, so it doesn't feel as much as a madhouse.
Yeah. Yeah, because I imagine, who knows, by October, maybe there's going to be fireworks. I think Disney is probably shooting for that or hoping for that because it's going to be like a weird celebration if they can't put up a few exploding balls into the sky.
Yeah. I mean, there was reports that this week Epcot was testing some fireworks after hours, so it definitely does feel like they're heading that way, and I 1,000% agree with you. It's like Disney definitely wants to have some sort of explosion, big old finale for their 50th. Yeah,
so that's interesting too because they were doing some harmonious testing in Epcot just over the weekend. So that raises the question: do you think that the big announcement is going to be HarmoniUs is going to start in October? I mean, it could be just another thing drawing people, trying to split the crowd. I don't know.
That'd be interesting, but it's like that would get some people in the park, but as park hours stand right now, I mean, MK is shut down by the time Harmonious would start, where Epcot is still open till 10 at this point. So
yeah, it's true.
But maybe they know that they're going to be opening and extending Magic Kingdom hours later in the year.
Could be.
I would assume they would.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they definitely. I'm gonna say by the time we get to October, those Magic Kingdom hours are gonna be to like 10 o'clock.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but we'll see. That's just me speculating. Of course, on party nights it won't be. That's gonna be very interesting because they're gonna have to manage the Boo Bash, mixing that in with their park hours, and you're celebrating a 50th anniversary where people are gonna want to be in the parks late. They're hoping for like some special things, maybe parades, maybe fireworks, what have you. But you also got Boo Bash nights happening where people are going to get chased out of the park, so the party can happen. It's an operations thing. I don't work for Disney operations. I don't know. Maybe they've got it all planned. I hope so because it sounds like it could be a little bit of a mess. But hey, that's not for me to worry about.
Yeah, that's above our pay grade.
Yeah. So, but we'll see. Yeah, that was another thing I did want to mention was the Harmonious Testing. So I'm glad we eased on into that one and got to talk about it. Landon, a question for you. You have now seen the Harmonious barges in person with your very own eyes. Could you please give me your thoughts on the Harmonious barges?
I get one a year. This is the time that I'm gonna go ahead and burn my my bleeped out censor. Holy. Wow. Not great, Jay. Not great. Like I didn't love the pictures that I was seeing online, but I was thinking, oh, maybe, I want to see it with my own eyes. Maybe I'll see it from a certain angle, be like, yeah, okay, I can get behind. No, that did not happen. I saw it from all around the World Showcase, and every time I looked out over into the lagoon, there were those eyesores, like just completely wrecking what at one point was just a like picturesque view. Yep. Looking across the world or looking on my girl, the Epcot ball. No, instead I have to look at what looks like reject Dr. Octopus. Disney, what you do,
Disney.
You do. Oh my God.
So this is what I've been saying. I've been trying to I know. But look, I understand because also when I take pictures of them, I think in the pictures, they don't look as big and like overbearing as they actually are. And then it's consistent. People see them in person and they're like, oh, wow, I did not realize they're monstrosities.
Yeah, and I do think you are right. Like, I don't think pictures do them justice. And I'm going to throw up quotes as I say justice because, seeing them with your very own eyes, those things are looming. Yeah.
Just wait till
Why you do, Disney? Oh my
Just wait till they're spraying water all day. That'll make it that much better. At that point, it's like, let's just go ahead and kill the entire view. Yeah, and it's going to be noisy, by the way, because
I hadn't even thought of that.
Yeah, they're going to be blasting water out of those things. You're going to be able to hear it, I'm sure. So, anyways, positivity. Hey, here's some positive things. There were some questions that came up because if you remember, over a year ago now, the Ample Hills ice cream shop closed on Disney's Boardwalk, and just over the weekend, I think it might have been Friday, Boardwalk Ice Cream shop opened in its place. So this is kind of strange. I mean, like, I guess Disney, in my opinion, thought to themselves, people can't always get into beaches and cream. When you're on the boardwalk, ice cream it feels appropriate to have a nice ice cream and walk around the boardwalk. Mm-hmm. It fits. And I guess this fills that gap, but it is just kind of a little bit, I don't know. It's strange. Like what Ample Hills I get is like a chain, and maybe there's financial pressures, different things going on, and they just had to pull out. So Disney's like, well, we might as well use the space and open an ice cream shop.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Or maybe they too have a hard time pronouncing. They're just like, get Get out of
ample
here.
heels. I don't know why I struggle so hard with that. But their ice cream menu is inspired by Beaches and Cream. So it's similar to what you would get at Beaches and Cream. The sad thing here is that I don't see any ice cream flights on the menu. And that was something you could get at Ample Hills. And I mean, ice cream flight is like just one of those perfect, like, too good to be true kind of things. And maybe that's why it's gone. But
I mean, behind beer flights, ice cream flights are my second favorite flight.
Mm-hmm. It's a flight of fancy for sure. But
so when you say the menu's inspired by Beaches and Cream, is this another place people can go get the kitchen sink, or is that still exclusively to Beaches and Cream?
Yeah, you cannot get the kitchen sink at the Boardwalk Ice Cream shop. It's nothing that's like super exciting. I mean, it's ice cream, and ice cream is good. You don't have to go crazy with ice cream. But yeah,
no, you do have to scream for ice cream.
You do scream for ice cream, and I think it just kind of.
I mean, I scream for ice cream, and you scream for ice cream. Together, we all scream for ice cream.
We all do. But yeah, I think it just fills that gap that was left behind by Ample Hills. That's almost as bad as Enchanted Tales with Belle.
I was literally thinking that. Yeah.
Oh, I've got an ice cream review coming up. I've actually have 2 ice cream reviews for you all coming up later in the show. You better hang on because you're going to want to hear both of those ice cream reviews.
Well, we call that a tease in the business, though. I would imagine as you're eating this ice cream, it would be very relaxing. But if you're looking for some relaxing spots in the Magic Kingdom, kind of have some bad news for you. Disney has eliminated all 3 of the relaxation stations in the Magic Kingdom. And I would imagine that Epcot, Animal Kingdom, and Hollywood Studios, they will be Thank you, Zoe. They will be following suit in the future. And also, this is just another step back towards, the before times, before the world caught fire. But it's like, as somebody who experienced their very first relaxation station earlier this week in Epcot, those are kind of nice. And especially when we talk about it's a bazillion degrees, it's nice to be able to get out of the heat and just kind of sit down and breathe it in for a second.
Yeah, I think we're going to miss those more than people might imagine because, now you don't have to wear your mask outside anymore. And the relaxation stations were a nice place to go in. You could take your mask off, have a drink, have a snack, and just enjoy. Sometimes they were inside. You could enjoy some air conditioning. Sometimes they were in like shaded places outdoors, but usually they were in, nice cooler spots. And you could really kind of catch your breath and give your feet some much needed rest for a little while. And there's still going to be spots for that. But I think, honestly, when those started popping up in the parks as they opened up post-COVID closure, because Universal had them too, and I think they might still have them at this point, but I'm not sure. I think that it really kind of filled a need that maybe the parks are reluctant to consider, because I get that like square footage in theme parks is valuable and you want to put something that's like making you money in those spots, but it was so nice to have these big open areas where you could spread out. You knew you'd be able to find a seat, you knew you could sit down, have a drink, have some food, and just like take a load off for a little while. And sometimes those places are hard to come by when you're in a busy theme park.
Yes,
So.
like especially like I made reference. I was able to use one in Epcot. Like there are parts in Epcot. I mean, like we make the joke. There's a lot of trash cans in Epcot because they double as the table, because you can never find anywhere to stand or sit while you're eating your food. So it's like I actually went and got a drink, Tipsy Duck and Love, went back to the relaxation station, just kind of sat down and chilled for a second. And I do think with these eliminations, this is going to be something we're going to regret not having the option to have, because I mean there are times where it's like, God, I would literally punch that woman in the face if I could have her bench. Like clearly I didn't, and also you shouldn't be punching ladies.
Don't punch women in the face,
even for their bench. But still, like they're like, just like you said, knowing you have a spot to sit down in is a very nice feeling.
Yeah, and actually, so one thing we frequently debate as the parks are kind of returning back to normal is, will Fastpass come back? And if it does, will it be the Fastpass we knew and loved before, or will it be some sort of a new Fastpass option? Maybe a pay-to-play kind of Fastpass in the vein of Universal's Express Pass or Max Pass in Disneyland, which is something that, you know, they do have paper fast passes at Disneyland, but if you want the option to use your phone and be able to book them, you know, much easier and have that kind of convenience, you do have to pay for that. And I think that my opinion has been that Disney's going to bring them back in a modified incarnation, and maybe they will be pay to play. Maybe it'll be based on the level of resort you're staying at, whether or not like you get more advanced window to book a fast pass, as opposed to if you're in a moderate, maybe you get 60 days. If you're in a value, you get 30, you know, that sort of thing. Or you can pay to upgrade. I don't know. I have no inside knowledge of this. I'm just saying, but my campaign has always been to institute virtual queues for all of the headliners. And one thing, and I'm going to, you know, Lewis has always stood by the fact that, and Disney Pick a Day, got to plug the Twitter, Disney Pick a Day. He's a good Monorail fam member. He has always argued back that if you go virtual queues for all of the headliners, you've got a problem of having all these people that are walking around the parks, and it creates like a traffic problem, because typically you've got them standing in line, and now you just have them out wandering around, and maybe they're not. I mean, you could be shopping, you could be going into restaurants, but not everybody's going to do that. So now you just have people that are wandering around. How do you balance that out? Create relaxation zones so that if people aren't necessarily going attraction to attraction to get in the standby lines and they're just waiting on their virtual queues, get something to eat, get a little drink, go hang out in a relaxation zone for a little while. I mean, it goes further in the direction of what I dream. If I could build the theme parks in my image, it would be all virtual queues. There would be much more seating, much more relaxation areas, and people would be able to enjoy the day without rushing around and be able to just kind of like go with the flow, man, you know, and not necessarily be all stressed and pulling their hair out and having park breakdowns and stuff. So it all kind of ties together. I don't think that virtual queues for, and I'm not saying every attraction in reality. Of course, I would love it for every attraction, but not in reality.
Yeah, the Barnstormer needs a virtual queue.
In reality, what I mean is just the headliners, things that would be like your top tier fast pass attractions. Make those the virtual queues. Everything else, just do standard standby. The crowds will disperse. And by the way, you build the virtual queue system so that it fills up the line to like 30 to 45 minutes, right? And then that's still a lot of people in line, and everything else you can spread out. Go ride other things, go eat, go drink, find a relaxation station. Please, Disney, do not ever put cabanas in Tomorrowland ever again. I'm doing prayer hands right here. That's not what I'm asking for. That is not what I'm asking for. We don't need cabanas in Tomorrowland or anywhere in the parks.
What about Cabana Land? They need to be there.
Oh, well, now you're talking. Now we're talking. But I think that might be what we call Volcano Bay. But yeah, I don't know why I went on this tangent, but basically what I was saying is that relaxation stations are things that we need in order to move the parks into my vision of the Disney future. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
All right. Well, I don't know how we got on, but I agree with you. Like, I said what you said. Like, I do think this is something that we're going to regret not having those options to have, because like, as somebody who like pretty much walked my feet bloody and not having a place to sit down, it's like, am I going to be like that guy that just goes over to the side and like just sits on the ground because I can't find anywhere? And having that option, like you said, a place where you can sit down and have a seat. I kind of hate losing that option.
Me too. Hey, I feel like this would be a good opportunity to transition. You were talking about like the pain that your body went through this last week. I feel like it's time to maybe talk about like what was it that led to this total body breakdown that you're experiencing this weekend. Because Landon, you yourself were in the most magical place on Earth last week, along with Old Man Frank. And on Tuesday, the party began when we all got to get together for Frank's big day at Magic Kingdom, and all I had to say was, yes, the boys were back in town, baby.
Mm-hmm. Them boys back together one more time. Yeah. I mean, like you asked what caused this body breakdown. Short answer, existing. Long answer was 5 days back to back in the most magical place on earth. And, like I said, walking about 30 miles in those 5 days. But yes, fun times were had. Got in on last Sunday, stood in line for the Magical Express for no joke. 45 minutes to an hour to get on the bus. Like if you've ever been to MCO and you've taken the Magical Express, you go all the way to the bottom floor and then you queue up for your bus. It's stretched from one end of the terminal all the way to the other end of the terminal, like lined up all along the desks where you could in theory rent a car, but I guess everybody's like, okay, Magical Express is just taking this place over, so none of those booths or kiosks were open. So, but yeah, that is how my trip to Disney started. Pretty appropriate if you think about it, standing in line.
Yeah, and when you mentioned that to me when you got into town, and I immediately put it on the Monorail Fam Facebook group because I have never done the Magical Express from MCO. We've always either driven down or rented a car.
Or, lived there.
Or lived here. So I've never done the Magical Express.
No, technically you were on my check-in for the Magical Express. So you could have driven your car, paid for parking, and then rode to the Magical Express.
I could have. Yeah,
why didn't you?
Enjoyed some Disney cartoons on the way to the All-Star movies. Well, Landon, so tell me a little bit about this, because again, I've never done it before. So, how exactly does it work? You signed up for it, did you have to sign up for it before you got here, or was it just like automatic because you were flying in and had a Disney reservation? How did that work?
I had to opt in when I made my reservation online. At that point, you can sign up for a spot on the Magical Express. Though initially, when I made my reservation, I did not. So I had to email email customer service, and then they added that to my reservation. And I found out you can go in through the My Disney Experience app and alter your reservation and add that if you did what I did and didn't do it when you initially made the reservation. And on top of that, when I flew down, had a spot on the Magical Express going to Disney. My original plan was I was just going to get up in the middle of the night, get an Uber, and go to MCO to catch my 7 a.m. flight. A couple days before, I went to the front desk to initially ask, how early do I need to call for an Uber? Are Ubers going to be readily available at that, middle of the night point that I was going to be leaving? The cast member ended up saying, you can get an Uber, or I can just add you to the return to MCO, because we will be having a bus going at that point. So I ended up going on that route. Of course, that means I had to get up at 2:45 in the morning to make a 3:45 a.m. bus. Yeah, let me tell you, yesterday was a long day. But going to MCO, there was a crazy long line. Frank did not experience that. He was pretty much able to get on his bus, not immediately, but not the 45 minutes to an hour that I went through. And though he did have to make several stops around the resort where my bus, the way they were breaking it down, it's like, okay, you're going to All-Star Movies, you get in this line. You're going to Boardwalk, you get in this line. You're going to the Poly, you get in this line. So once I got on the bus, there was no stop. It was a straight shot to movies for me.
That's nice.
Yeah. Yeah, that was really nice, because I've heard horror stories where it's like, I guess kind of Frank did. He crawled around every stop on the resort. It's like, oh my God, just get there. So maybe while he didn't wait 45 minutes to an hour in line to get on the bus, maybe he waited 45 minutes to an hour to get to his hotel once he got on.
It balanced out that way for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So once you got to MCO, did you take your luggage to the Magical Express? Like, was there a drop-off area and then you got in line and they just handle your luggage for you? Or did you have to have it with you in the line until you got on the bus? How did that work?
I had it with me in the line until I got on the bus. You go to baggage claims. If you've been to MCO, at least for me, Delta baggage claim is on the second floor So I waited for it to come around on the carousel, grabbed it, went down to the third floor, the bottom floor of MCO, got in line, dragged my bag with me. And then once I was outside waiting to get on the bus, there's an area where your driver will, take your bag and put it under the bus for you. So that's how that went.
And then at that point, when you get to the resort, do they take the bag to your room for you, or did they hand it to you as you exited the bus?
They handed it to me as I exited the bus because my room wasn't ready when we arrived. So I had to take it to the bellhop or concierge outside. There was a specific stand where people were, checking their bags because apparently there was not a lot of rooms available once we got there at that point in the day. So I got a ticket or a tag or whatever to come back and be like, "Hi, I'm Landon Dunn. I'm here to pick up my bag," and they gave it to me. Though part of me was I was hoping once my room got ready they would just take it to my room, but I'm not going to fault them for that.
I wonder if this is a change because of COVID, because I think it used to be that once you put the bag on the Magical Express, it would end up at your room. I think. I could be totally wrong. And people, if you've done Magical Express, come on here, tell me I'm wrong. Dial our hotline, 1-800-5555-55#279, and tell me that I'm wrong. But I think that used to happen. And then, like, in the morning, so when you were leaving, what they would do is you would put your bag, like, outside your room. They'd come get your bag, and then you go get on the bus and they take it to the airport. Like, almost like it works on a cruise. Like, it works that way on a cruise ship. But, yeah, I guess maybe some things have changed in the COVID times. Mm-hmm. So maybe there's less other people handling your bag just from,
that makes sense.
Germ concerns.
Yeah. That whole thing, cross-contamination.
Yeah. Okay. Well, have you ever stayed at All-Star Movies before? Was this your first time?
This was my first time at All-Star Movies, and I got to say, it's like for the price point, I really dug it. The room was top notch. It's I stayed in the Toy Story rooms, which apparently are one of the more recently renovated rooms. Outside, like at the All-Star Movies and Pop Century, there's very Disney-tastic stuff to look at. And because I was in the Toy Story area, there was a giant, Buzz and Woody out there. There was an Andy's door and, blocks that spelled like Buzz and Woody, and they misspelled Andy's name, which is hilarious to me. But, and I mean, once you got in the room, I had the option where it was the queen bed, and then there was another, you could pull another queen bed out of the wall. So if you had a guest or, your party is 2 people, 4 people, y'all can sleep comfortably in that. And I really liked the room itself, and especially for the price point too. Yeah.
This room that you had, I got a chance to visit your room and Frank's room, and they are the same style as the refurbished rooms at Pop, where it's just a real clean look. It's very utility. Like there's not a lot of flourish to it. Yeah, there's some like Disney animation art kind of on the wall above the bed, and when you pull down the Murphy bed, they've got some art in there too that had the nephews.
Yes, Hingus, Dingus, and Lingus.
Yeah, exactly. But the rest of the room, it feels very sterile. It kind of feels generic in the room, but I like the room because I feel like it makes a lot of sense. There's a lot of very useful touches, like there's USB plugs everywhere in the room.
Yes, that was so nice. Like even on the chest where you can store your dirty laundry if you're like me and throw it in a drawer. I mean, like all along the top of that were plugs for your electronic devices and straight up USB plugs, which was just loved having that.
They're
option.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
The bathroom, it's not huge. It's got the locked down toiletries, so you don't put them in your bag and take them home.
Which Frank said in the gift shop, it was $28 for Disney shampoo. Yeah. It's like some good shampoo. I'll admit that. And as a guy with a fantastic head of hair, which is perfect for an audio podcast, like I do appreciate some good shampoo, not $30 shampoo. Good Lord.
You got to pay that Disney premium.
Though I totally did take a bar of soap. So, in your face, Disney.
There you go. Made that money back.
Oh man, I shouldn't have said that. They're gonna charge my card.
They'll send you a bill.
We heard you took some Disney soap. It's $17.95.
Yeah, but for all of the touches in there, you've got your refrigerator, you've got the coffee maker.
That was nice too.
All those sorts of things. We noticed no alarm clocks
Yeah, like no clocks at all. Like when I originally got there, I was looking around for what time is it? Oh, there's no clock. And I mean, it's like, oh man, I really hope the last person didn't steal their clock and then they're going to charge me when they go to check. It's like, oh, well, he took the soap and the clock. So it's $17.95 for the soap and $195 for the Disney clock. Yeah. So it's like, if you're like me and you're always worried what time it is when you wake up, or you're thinking like, okay, I don't want to oversleep my alarm, or be like, okay, I have X amount of hours until my alarm goes off. The best thing I found was to leave your TV on, mute it, and put it on channel 2, which was the screen to let you know the hours of Hollywood Studios, Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Animal Kingdom, Disney Springs, stuff like that. Because in the right-hand corner, there is always a clock. So
Yeah, you could either do that or definitely just bring like a small alarm clock with you, because I get that. Like, I'm the same kind of way. When I wake up in the middle of the night, I like to be able to roll over and see what time it is.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And without looking at my phone.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, yeah, I'm the same way. So it's just something to consider. Those rooms do not have clocks in them.
Which is weird. It's like, did we as a society vote that clocks are no longer needed?
I guess, everybody's got them in their phone. You've got an alarm clock in your phone. I guess Disney's just like, people don't need it. But I don't know. We're old fashioned. But this is where we start to talk about, back in our day, there were clocks in every room.
Back in our day, there was a clock wherever you looked.
Yeah.
Sometimes a clock had a clock in it.
If you're like us and you're old fashioned, then maybe just bring like a small a digital alarm clock or something with you, because there won't be one.
Yeah, I was like I'm still blown away that they didn't have clocks. That was weird.
Well, what did you think about the main building with the food court, the gift shop? I know the arcade wasn't open, but what were your thoughts on that main building there at the All-Star Movies?
It was nice. I was within walking distance of the main building itself, which is nice, because I've stayed. We stayed at Pop Animation when Galaxy's Edge opened, and it felt like to get to the front desk or the cafeteria, we had to maybe catch a bus to get to the front of the building. That would have been quicker. But being within walking distance was nice. Being able to hit up the cafeteria. Man, mobile ordering for the cafeteria is so dang nice. Just being beep, boop, boop, boop on the phone. Place your order, then hit the button. I'm here. Start preparing. That is such a nice touch. Especially, it's like, because Disney isn't doing, room service or delivering food to the room right now. So that ability to kind of, it's not room service, but the ability to just kind of like hit a couple buttons on your phone. It's already paid for. Walk in, grab it, head back to your room. So nice, especially when you get back to the parks, or back from the parks after a long day, and you realize, okay, I have this for breakfast, this for lunch, and I didn't have dinner. I probably need to do that. So, because that happened to me once. I really liked it. The lobby itself, it was fine. For the theming, it wasn't, anything grandiose or over the top. And the gift shop, I mean, it was a gift shop. Yeah.
Yeah. So we stayed at Art of Animation for the opening of Galaxy's Edge, and we were in a Little Mermaid room that was literally it might have been the farthest possible place we could have been from the main building.
We were way out there.
Yeah, it was a long walk, but so you're right. Like, we'd get back at night, and if you went back to the room without stopping to like fill up your mug or grab a little snack or something,
God forbid you forgot your mug and you're thirsty, so you go back to the room to get your mug, and then you make the trek back to the cafeteria, and then you're like, okay, I'm just going to set up base camp here and make it back in the morning.
Yeah, because essentially you've been walking all day long, and that kind of a hike to make it back to the main building, go to the cafeteria, whatever you need to do it's pretty daunting. So you may just decide it's better to starve for the night or something. But
absolutely. And like, as somebody who ended up needing some Band-Aids a couple times during the week, and the gift shop sells Band-Aids, the fact that it was within walking distance was definitely a positive on my broken down husk of a body. So I definitely appreciated that. Plus, they also sell booze, which every time I saw it, it's like, that's so weird.
It is weird, yeah.
It's like, hi, I would like a Band-Aid and that bottle of Jack Daniels, please. I'm an adult.
Yeah, but I do want to point out, so you were in what they call a preferred room, so you paid just a little bit more, but what that means is you will be closer to the main building, to the bus stop, that sort of thing. I walked around when I dropped you guys off on Tuesday night at All-Star Movies. I walked around the property for a little while, and It is large. It is a large resort. And if you were staying over in like the Dalmatians area, or maybe Herbie or something like that, you could have been a good, I don't know, 7-8 minute walk away from, or maybe more from the lobby. And so
which, I mean, that doesn't sound like a lot, but again, like if you've been hoofing it around Magic Kingdom, grand opening to grand closing, Jay-Z style, it's like that 7 to 8 minute walk. It's like, okay, I'm just gonna die.
Yeah. Go on without me. Bring me back a Mickey pretzel. Yeah.
No, speaking of the property, I'm not a pool guy, and we kind of talked about this when we were, ranking the value resorts and stuff like that. That pool was incredible. The Fantasia, like Sorcerer Mickey look, and they got the brooms to one side. Like that pool was so awesome. I said it. I'm not a pool guy. I thought about getting in the pool.
Yeah, I know Frank did. That was like the first thing he did when you guys got back on Tuesday night. I dropped you off at your room, or actually you and I walked over to the main building so you could fill up your mug. You walked back. I took a stop at the gift shop, used the bathroom, come out. Frank is in the pool. Like, he was swimming, and he was, like, wrapping it up as I was coming out. So he, like, beelined it to the pool after we split up with him. But
Frank apparently is a pool guy. He said that his way to help his body recover is to dive into the pool and then go take a hot shower.
Yeah. Yeah, he does that. He did it when we did the Art of Animation stage.
That's right. He did, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's a signature Frank move right there. But, yeah, I really enjoyed the theming of the resort. I think it's very cute. The different sections, the Mighty Ducks section with the pool is really cool because they make it look like a hockey rink. I don't know if you made your way over there, but
no, I didn't even know that was an option.
Yeah,
that's kind of awesome.
It was real neat. The Dalmatians area was cute. I really did like the Herbie. Surprisingly, I thought the Herbie area was like really cool too. And it's like, that's such a. Do people even know what that is anymore? I mean.
They might know the Lindsay Lohan version. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of weird. But all of it, like, I thought all the theming was really good. I will say about the main building, comparing it to like Pop and Art of Animation, you can tell that it is like a step down. It just feels like it is in dire need of a rehab. The thing I find very odd is that the cafeteria is carpeted, and the carpet looks like an old Showbiz pizza or something. It's got like confetti and streamers all over it.
Yeah, that design, yeah.
It's so weird, and it looks all run down. It just does not look good. Like, they should just replace that with tile, is really what they need to do. But And then,
plus, as many spills as they must have. I mean, like,
yeah,
you would think they would tile it over, or lay down like, wood or something,
laminate or something.
Yeah, Like carpet seems like a bad option, especially when you got a bunch of little ones running around and knocking their bowl of Sketty or Cheerios off the table.
Exactly. So that seems like a strange choice, but maybe when they do a little rehab on the All-Star resorts, maybe they'll do that. But
rehab.
They just need it. They need some rehab.
We're going to get the cafeteria clean and back on its feet.
Yeah. But this was my first time visiting the All-Star resorts too. And I'll just say, like, I've become a fan. Our first value stay as a family was at Art of Animation. We loved it. We thought it was amazing. Everything about it just feels so like Disney and immersive, and it feels like a value plus. And I thought because of that, I wasn't going to like Pop Century. So then I stayed at Pop, and I was like, holy crap, this place is a little cheaper. It's just as good. I mean, the rooms, you get what you pay for. They're value rooms, right? Like I said, they're very utility. They're not going to be like crazy upscale fancy, but like the resort amenities as a whole, like the pool area, the main building, the cafeteria, it's all real good. And I was like, okay, well, now I know I like Pop and Art of Animation. How am I going to feel about the All-Star resorts? Really, there's not that big of a difference. But I will say, just that was my main takeaway, is I feel like the main building, you can tell it's like another step, just maybe a half step down from what you get at like Pop and Art of Animation. Just my opinion. Not that it's bad. It's just they are cheaper, and you can tell that it's a slightly more affordable resort.
But at the same time, that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's like I'll be honest, when I heard I got a Toy Story room, I was like, oh, cool. I wonder if it's going to be themed like, Andy's room or something like that. So when I walked in, it's like, oh, okay, well, there's a little bit of Disney theming. But other than that, it was just a hotel room. By the end, I was absolutely fine with it because like you said, it's a very user friendly, so to speak, room. Like you have the Murphy bed, and if you have the Murphy bed up, guess what? You have a table with 2 chairs where you can sit down and eat your chicken tenders for dinner because you completely forgot to eat that day. So, I do like having that option, and having the mini fridge there. That was a very nice touch too. Being able to, put some water in my bottle before I go to bed, throw it in the refrigerator. So I have a nice, bottle of cold water to drink in the morning.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and that Fantasia pool is really nice. I agree.
Oh, that's so cool. That is so cool.
Yeah, it is very, very well themed, and it's cool to see the brooms. Like you said, they're kind of decorating the sides of the building on either side of the pool, and Mickey's there in the middle, conjuring the water to spray forth onto the pool. And now Frank said the water was a little cold. I guess it's a little early in the season. Maybe it hasn't quite heated up yet. But
so to be fair, if I'm hopping in a pool and it's a bazillion degrees outside, I'm okay if it's cold.
Yeah, right. It's that's not such a bad thing. So
no. And by the way, every one of the cast members at the resort, and I'll say this as well, that I came across in the parks. This isn't going to surprise anybody. Top-notch customer service. Thank you, cast members. Y'all are part of what makes the magic of Disney Magic happen. And shout out to Izzy in particular, front desk at the main building of movies, All-Star
nice.
Movies.
Did you give her our card? Is she a listener now?
I hope so. Izzy, if you're listening, let us know. Call us on the hotline, 1-800-555-555-555.
Star pound 927 or whatever I said.
5, yeah.
Yeah. No, you're right, man. We say it all the time that the cast members are the ones that make the magic. And even in the 2 days that I got to hang out with you guys in the parks, they're the ones that do it, man. The parks wouldn't be the same without the magic the cast members bring. And one thing that's going to add to that is Disney's bringing back the college program.
Yes.
We're going to get those college kids back in there who are basically working for peanuts, but they're just happy to be there.
They're happy to be there. The world hasn't totally crushed them like us jaded adults has, and they think, yeah, I can still go out there and grab the world by the tail.
Exactly. And they've got that Disney magic in their eyes. So it'll be nice to have them back.
And on top of that, I didn't see one person lose it on a cast member for mentioning the masks, which I was so sure that was going to happen. I was going to see Florida man and or woman like you're infringing upon my freedoms with this mask. This is Nazi jerk. I didn't see that once, so I am so glad. Good job, everybody.
Way
you
to go.
Kind of acted like adults this week.
Yeah, I am happy to hear that for sure. Okay, let's talk about some of your favorite experiences from this trip. I don't think we have to go beat by beat every single day. I mean, I know you started out on your own. Your first day you were at Epcot. You saw the barges. I know that was a highlight for you.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. After seeing the barges, it's like, I might as well just get back on the plane because nothing's going to top this. Vacation over.
Did you have any really cool first time experiences that day or anything that stood out to you on your first day?
I look back on my first day in Epcot, and the one thing that stands out to me is the Orange Bird smoothie that's available for Flower and Garden. It's a orange lemon smoothie, and it comes in the Orange Bird sipper. That thing was so dang good. Like, oh my God. Like I would pay $15 for it even if it didn't come with the Orange Bird sipper. That's how good it was. And there was no booze in it either, which is kind of surprising for me. I know, right?
That is hard for me to believe. But
there wasn't. I even asked.
Can you put some in there? No, that's really good to hear for sure. We've had that. I think we had it last year. We haven't had it this year. That's one of Chicken Nugget's favorites. Is that
it's
smoothie.
Good.
And
Chicken Nug has good taste. Though apparently somebody was telling me, I think it might have been Skipper Bob, that it might have changed some this
really?
From last year to this year. So y'all still might want to give it a shot and, compare and contrast. But regardless, you're getting a tasty beverage. That's fun for the whole family.
I did not know that they changed up the old formula on that one. So yeah, I guess we're gonna have to try it again, but that's okay.
Yep, because you're getting a tasty beverage.
Yeah, I was actually pulling it up on the My Disney Experience app because I was going to tell people how much it was, and it doesn't say.
It's $15.
It was $15. Okay.
Yeah, but it does come with the Orange Bird sipper, which they also changed from last year too.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
My Orange Bird sipper is now one of my permanent Disney displays in my condo. So
I do want to tell you all this.
It's a good looking cup.
I want to tell you all this because I've had it in the past. This might sound tempting to you. The Isla Morada Beer Company Coconut Key Lime Ale, you can skip it. It's it sounds better than it tastes.
Well, I'm going to be honest. I'm not a coconut man, so that wouldn't place on my chart of things to drink. Now, if somebody bought it for me, I'm not going to turn down a free beer. I'm not dumb, but still.
One thing I didn't ask you was how did it feel to walk back in the parks after more than a year of being gone? Like, how was it walking into Epcot and seeing Spaceship Earth in all her glory?
I had a skip in my step. Like I was on cloud nine, going through, where you scan your magic band and seeing it go in a circle and then light up green. It's like, Chewie, we're home. Like, and seeing my girl Spaceship Earth, good old Epcot ball. It's like, I got emotional last week. I'm going to try and, keep my emotions in check. But yeah, it was nice to just walk around the World Showcase.
What was your first ride?
Oh, Spaceship Earth.
Okay.
Originally I wouldn't, I was actually going to do Living with the Land as my first ride, but as I was walking by Spaceship Earth, it said, wait time 35 minutes. And then I look at the line, it's like, that's practically a walk on. So it's like, well, I'm here. Let's get on the Epcot ball and go thank the Phoenicians, which I did. By the way, always thank the Phoenicians.
You must. All right. Day 2, you were in Hollywood Studios. What stood out to you on day 2?
Being walked off Rise of the Resistance. Yes. I got to ride Rise of the Resistance 1.5 times.
Yeah, this is an experience I have not had. I was telling Landon I'm so jealous of this experience because if you made a Rise bingo card, I could check so many boxes. I've gone both routes that you could go because it does go 2 different routes after you get to the AT-AT room. You could either go beside it or in front of it. I've done both. I've seen Kylo Ren in B mode when the Wicked Witch animatronic isn't working and the TIE fighter comes up and shoots at you from the outside. I've seen it. I've seen the probe droid work. I've seen it not work. Just about everything. The thing that hasn't happened is breaking down and being walked off. The closest I came, we were at the unload area and the ride vehicle was sliding over to right where you would get off and actually the gates would open up and they would release the restraints and it stopped 2 feet away from it. So they had to come and open it up and we had to so that's the closest I've been.
Please tell me you asked the cast and be like, hey, the ride broke down. You better scan me so I can get back on.
That's what I felt. I was like, hey, it broke while we were on it. Do we get a fast pass? But no. So Landon, that is amazing. And I need you to tell us all about breaking down and walking off Rise of the Resistance.
Okay, it happened in the AT-AT room, and Jay talks about how there's 2 different paths to take. Every time that I've been on Rise, it's always off to the side, and I go up. This was the very first time that my cart, oh, holy crap, I'm going to be in front of the AT-AT when we go up the elevator. So we load into the back, go up the elevator, we start to pull out of the elevator shaft, comes to a halt, pause, lights turn on, and then the AT-AT guns flip over and they start lighting up like they're shooting at us. They're like, this is weird. This isn't supposed to happen. So then we just hang out there. Lights come on. We hear, attention, please stay in your car as we try and get this back on ride. Please hold. And we hear that a couple times, and then we get the announcement, please stay in your carts. Cast members are coming out to help you out and walk you off. Though, remember how I said we started to come out of the elevator shaft?
Yep.
We weren't completely out of the elevator shaft. Like we were halfway in, halfway out. So there was some worry. It's like we're fine, right? Right, we're fine. Hello. And I'm not gonna lie, there was a point we were all kind of talking with each other. Everybody's like, oh well, I really, they better give us a fast pass. And I actually had to be like, this has happened before, and my understanding is everybody gets a fast pass, so we'll be able to do it. Yeah. And it's like, oh, okay, all right, well, that's fine. So we're talking amongst ourselves, and we see a shadow above us start to move slowly down, and then out of the shadow comes this gate. Uh-huh. That's coming right towards the edge of the elevator shaft that I thought might start pushing the shaft down to the ground to reset. Like, you could have heard a pin drop. I'm not going to lie. Almost had a slight panic attack for a second. It's like, oh God. Oh God, they're going to push the elevator shaft down and we're all going to die. Clearly that didn't happen. It was just a gate to come down. I actually have a picture on my socials of the gate in rest mode with a yellow safety strap on it. But I mean, at that point, we're just waiting for cast members to come around. We got a couple really good cast members who walked us off, and being able to walk through Rise of the Resistance and kind of see how some of the tricks worked. You talk about seeing the Kylo Ren animatronic in Wicked Witch mode, but it's in B mode. I got to see the Ren and Hux animatronic kind of in rest mode. They were turned around looking out where the carts would be, just standing there. I got to look down the hall and see how they make the effect of where Kylo Ren comes out of the darkness with his lightsaber. I got to see how that works. I'm not going to reveal the magic because for me, it kind of is like, oh, okay, well, that's how it works. But that was also cool. And I also got to walk through the part where your cart goes down and Ren jumps on your elevator cart and starts to cut through. Got to walk through that, and the magic was kind of revealed on that one. And then they ushered us into some back hallways where it looks like I was being taken to the principal's office or something. like this looked like something out of like a high school, which kind of like, I understand why they didn't, throw thousands of dollars into, dressing this up and making it feel immersive. But on the flip side, as often as this ride breaks down, maybe, don't have like storage closet 10 with the picture of what's in that storage closet on the outside. Like at least like let us pretend a little bit. But yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah, I said the same thing, but I was just thinking, like, when we were talking about this, like you said, the ride breaks down so often. Why not throw a little bit of money into making two hallways, one or two hallways that look like you're still on the Star Destroyer? So, at least it kind of, the theming carries out while the guests are being, evacuated. But Frank made a good point about this, and he was saying, the main reason they wouldn't want to do that is because if there's like a real emergency, they want you to know that we're not playing around anymore. That's
a fair point. And I will say it's like the cast members, they dropped the whole charade because, once you get on the Star Destroyer, it's like, they're supposed to be kind of mean to you.
Yeah.
They didn't treat it like, Dick's Last Resort or something, where, your waiter makes fun of you as you, order a cheeseburger or something. Like they were very like upfront, like, okay, follow us. Please keep your phones and cameras in your pocket. They were very adamant on that one because otherwise, like, I'm gonna record this. I'm gonna be that guy, and they're like, nope, keep them in your pocket. We don't want to see them.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and that makes sense to me because I was thinking too, like they could still be in character as they walk the guest off the ride. But I guess people would be like, "Oh, this is part of it.
This is part of the show." Right. Yeah. So like at some point, Ren's gonna come busting out of this corridor, and we're back on the ride.
Yeah.
No, nothing like that. No Imperial person would be like, "Well, we need to get you out of here, otherwise we're gonna have to fill out paperwork," and Ren hates paperwork or something like that.
Right. Anything else about day 2?
If you're in a party by yourself, don't wait in line for Smuggler's Run because you're going to end up being the engineer guaranteed. I waited a dadgum hour just to be the engineer.
Yeah.
Like going through the entire queue just to be the engineer.
Yeah,
don't do it.
Not really worth it.
No. And Frank had a very similar experience. I guess it was on Thursday. He went on Smugglers before I got there, and he thought what I thought. It's like they put you off by yourself, off to the side. You're like, holy crap, maybe I'm going to have a cockpit all to myself. So you go from one end of the emotional spectrum all the way to the other when it's like, okay, when you get in there, you're going to have to grappling hook the coaxium, and on the inside, I'm just screaming. It's like, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that does suck. I wonder sometimes if you've never ridden Smuggler's Run, would you accept the engineer's seat just, because you get to be part of it, you get to experience it, you get to see it? I think maybe that first time, possibly.
But, 1,000%, yeah.
But after that, no way.
Especially if you've already been the pilot or if you've been the gunner or if you've been the engineer. Because the engineer, it's like a whole lot of like, hitting buttons that flash and having to not look at the screen.
Yes, that was my experience too, is that when you're the engineer, if you really want to make sure you're hitting all your buttons at the right time, you're looking sideways as much as you're looking forward, which means you're not getting to see the action. Pilot's a totally different thing. In fact, you're so involved watching the action, sometimes you don't hit the brake in time and you slam into the train. That sort of thing. But I don't know. That, to me, the rewritability of Smugglers, I think it goes way down if you're a single rider for sure after that first time.
It absolutely does. And it's like with single rider line not being an option, like, okay, you can wait 15, 20 minutes in single rider. Okay, yeah, at that point, you get to get on the Falcon. You're an engineer. Not the most fun job in the world, but at the same time, you're still on the Falcon. Having to go through the entire dang queue, like close to an hour, just to be an engineer, no thank you.
Nope, no thanks.
By the way, breakfast Ronto wrap is better than the regular Ronto wrap.
Ooh, I know, because you don't like slaw.
Nope. No, though me and Frank on Thursday, we had the regular Ronto wrap, and Frank said he agreed with me because the slaw wasn't all that great.
Well, you can both be wrong. That's fine. I love the lunch and dinner Ronto wrap. I personally prefer it, but I think it's because it's a little spicier. I do like the slaw. I like that crunch of the slaw in there. It's a nice breakup of the texture. So that's my preference is lunch. I think they're both amazing, though. Yeah,
they're both top notch. I mean, if you're in Hollywood Studio, you're doing yourself a disservice if you don't get a Ronto wrap. By the way, we had to get our regular Ronto wrap from Docking Bay 7 because the Ronto roast shut down. The chips in Docking Bay 7 are terrible.
Oh.
They're gross. They're like banana chips or something. They're not actual potato chips.
Okay, so they're space chips.
They're garbage is what they are.
A bad review for Docking Bay 7. Keep that in mind. Usually, I mean, the food in Galaxy's Edge is pretty strong, so...
Yeah, except for those chips.
It's worth pointing out if something's not good.
Had me a surly Sarlacc in honor of a chicken nugget, but apparently he thought that was an insult, and I was just rubbing salt into his Sarlacc wound. So yes. Apologies to the nug.
That's true. He did not take that well.
But that's a tasty beverage. Like if that tastes half as good as the sour Sarlacc, I can understand why he's still surly that it's gone. Like that was a tasty beverage.
Yeah, the sour Sarlacc, he loved it. It was like his favorite thing. And speaking of favorite things, I was just going to say, I don't know if this is overstepping my opinion or not, but I think that the Ronto wrap is the single best quick service item in the Disney parks. I really do.
I'd be hard-pressed to disagree on that.
Like, I don't know if there's anything else that would stack up to where I would recommend someone, you must have this when you go to this park. You have to. The Ronto wrap, as long as you're, well, now if you're a vegetarian, I guess you could get the meatless one, but I don't think I would say the same. I don't, like, the meat-free option is fine, but it's no regular Ronto wrap.
If you're a vegetarian and you want to go for something else, maybe head to Woody's Lunchbox because they have some killer food there too.
Yeah, but yeah,
adult Pop-Tarts, those what do they call them?
Tachos.
Yeah, tachos, wagon wheels, or something like that. By the way, speaking of Star Wars and Rise of the Resistance, if it wasn't for Rise of the Resistance, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway would run away as the #1 attraction in all of Hollywood Studios. Full stop.
Oh, yeah. That's the other thing. That was your first time. Yeah. So tell us about that. Like, you got to ride it a couple times, right?
Yes. I got there for what I thought was going to be rope drop. Park opened at 9. I got there about like 8:20, 8:30. They were already letting people in. So I just made a beeline straight to what used to be the great movie ride to go ride Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. And it was practically a walk-on. There was maybe a 5-minute wait. I was blown away by it. I loved how the animation translates so perfectly to an attraction like this. It's fun. There are different beats to the show. I'm not going to give it away because you might want to experience it for yourself. It was so good. In fact, I immediately got off and went back on to get in queue to ride it again. Like it is like I said, if it wasn't for Rise, this would be #1 with a bullet attraction in Hollywood Studio. Over Tower of Terror, over Rock and Roller Coaster, over Slinky. Like everything pales in comparison to Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway.
Yeah, I'm glad you loved it so much because we do too. And I can't wait for you to be able to see the pre-show, because again, the pre-show is not happening right now. And I honestly think, in terms of building up the anticipation and tying into the story and just making it a completely immersive experience, that pre-show does it better than almost anything else. Although I would say Tower of Terror is up there in terms of pre-show. But I mean, it's awesome. So totally worth it for you to go back and do it again once. I mean, you would anyway, but once that
absolutely,
pre-show's
yeah.
going,
I clearly love this attraction, and I saw some pictures. It's like I didn't see any of the Potato Land stuff, so I knew some stuff was missing, but I didn't realize that there was like a pre-show that I was missing out on until you pointed it out. But yeah, looking forward to going back and getting the full experience.
And actually, those photo ops are not in the same building as Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. So if you go watch. Like, you go to the theater where they're playing the Mickey shorts right now.
Okay, all right. Yeah, like literally exit. Right next door, yeah.
Yeah, on the exit, when you exit the theater, that's where those photo ops are.
Oh, okay, all right.
Because I was confused about that, too. I didn't know where they were for a while, but yeah, that's where they're at. Holy cow. We're having such a good time recording this podcast and reliving Landon's epic return to the most magical place on Earth, even, that we just can't find a place to stop. So I'm going to stop us right here. We're going to have a part 2 coming up later this week, so make sure you're updating your feeds, watching for part 2 of episode 156. So it'll be like 156 part B subsection Roman numeral 4. That's coming out like Wednesday. But for now, thanks for listening. We appreciate you. We love you so much. We are the Morning Monorail. Morning Monorail on Instagram and Twitter. The website's morningmonorail.com, and you can join the Morning Monorail family on Facebook and talk with us all week long about Disney and other topics, whatever you want to, but mostly Disney in the Facebook. You can find Landon at LANDOZ, Landos on Twitter. He's also on Instagram, Dawes Does Disney. You can check out some of his photos from the week that was. And he's on The Phil Show, News Talk 98.7, streaming worldwide, newstalk987.com, every morning, 6 to 10 a.m. Check him out there as well. Have a great week, everybody. We'll talk to you a little bit later. Bye-bye. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for riding with us today. You can find us on the socials at Morning Monorail. The website is morningmonorail.com, and the email is mondaymorningmonorail@gmail.com. You can also call our voicemail 407-917-2144. Thank you so much for being part of the Monorail family. We'll see you next time.